Coming up in the news, government scales up Build Back Better project on the Sister Isles, and consultation has begun on the statutoization of local hospitals. We'll have details to these stories and more, plus a look at news in the region when we return.
Do you own a home or business? Are you planning to build soon? Are you concerned about the availability of water? The GIS project, in collaboration with the Planning and Development Authority (PDA), invites you to a public consultation on the new rainwater harvesting regulations. Join us on Friday, 6th March from 5 p.m. at the GBSS Auditorium in Tantine, St. George. Come build your knowledge on water storage and quality requirements. Discuss how they will impact you socially and financially. Your insights matter. Let us collaborate to secure a sustainable water future for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Come out in your numbers. Be a voice for water conservation. That date again, Friday, 6th March from 5 p.m. at the GBSS Auditorium. Rainwater, the key to a sustainable future.
A trip to Grenada from April 4th to the 6th, 2026. A decision you'll never regret. This isn't just any destination. It's where passion meets performance. Welcome to the 53rd Carifta Games, hosted at the iconic Carifta Games Athletic Stadium in St. George's. Under the theme, Passion Drives Performance. The best of the Caribbean's junior athletes will compete in electrifying track and field competition. Organize now and be part of an experience like no other, where talent, passion, and perseverance come alive on the land of 100,000 jab. Feel the passion, celebrate the performance, and create memories that will last a lifetime in pure Grenada, the land of warmth, spirit, and unstoppable energy. Welcome to the 53rd Carifta Games.
Welcome back with the details to the GIS news for Friday, February 27th, 2026. I am Rakisha St. Louis. The Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs and local government is encouraging contractors to join the Build Back Better Home project as the government moves to fast-track the delivery of hurricane-resilient homes. During a recent press briefing, Rainwater, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry, emphasized that the recovery effort has reached a critical stage where private sector collaboration is essential to move families from temporary shelters to permanent housing. Under a newly implemented financial management system, PS Perrott noted that all contractors and service providers must now be formally registered to qualify for government contracts. He outlined the process to ensure transparency and to facilitate timely payments.
At the beginning, the contractor or the vendor needs to register with CAIPO in Grenada. After that registration process, and it's a very simple process, the fee for that process is $25. After that process, and you receive your certificate, you then need to go to the Inland Revenue Department, where you would receive a TIN number. Now, all of that, according to our sources, are between 3 to 5 working days. After you receive your TIN number, there is a vendor's portal which you need to visit to give some very pertinent information and personal information that includes your business name, your email address, your address of the business, your phone number, and additionally, you would need, through all this process, you would need to have a current email because the mode of communication will be through that email going forward. So that once you do that on the vendor's portal, and also critically your banking information. The idea is for us to stop printing and the printing of checks. So everything will be, your payment will be made through the banking information that you supply.
Project Team Supervisor Wallace McLeod confirmed that 56 homes have been completed with 13 ongoing. However, with only 9 contractors currently attached to the project, the pace at which homes are being delivered is slower than anticipated.
100 plus homes, I think it was quoted at 199 was quoted. But if you average 20 odd contractors and each can complete at least 7 properties within this 9-10 month period here, then you're looking at close to 150 homes being completed by the end of year, which would be a remarkable thing. And it does help with having materials and the like coming in bulk here. That would help speed up the process. And again, as I said, if we have more contractors on board here, then it would even make the process even smoother and quicker.
McLeod says the team remains committed to providing quality homes to families in Carriacou and Petite Martinique.
I'm not going to put a target on our backs here because, as you would understand, we can have delays in just about anything. In as much as we're barging in materials and the like here, what I would say is, at the moment we have 9 contractors that already have their registered with Inland Revenue. So if you think everyone isn't registered with Inland Revenue, so we have to get those contractors. So in as much as we may want to set a target, we only have 9 contractors at the moment. So if you said everyone has 3 months, we'll just leave it at that. And as time goes by, then we would be able to complete more. So I'm not going to set a target. I'm just say we have 9 contractors. The more contractors we have that's registered with Inland Revenue, then we can achieve more. We are not just replacing what was lost. We are improving what existed. There is a frustration that we understand with family members waiting, individuals waiting. Everyone matters. Every family matters. We will not stop. We will continue until as many homes as possible is completed. Again, transparency builds trust, and we remain committed to delivering on our promise.
P.S. Parrott explained that work on houses will soon commence in Petite Martinique to address logistical challenges and ensure the sister isle is not left behind. A dedicated construction team will be based permanently on Petite Martinique. Bulk aggregates have already been procured and transported to the island.
We have been hit in Petite Martinique with delays, of course, labor and material. So now we have decided that we will bulk purchase some of our aggregates, including sand, gravel, blocks, and the sort, so that we can have those on island. Last year, we struggled a little bit because of the lack of materials and the shortage of materials. And we also struggle in the area of labor. So we are going to engage a consultant and a company that will boost the labor shortage to have us deliver in Petite Martinique as quickly as we have been delivering in Carriacou. And we have already started bulk purchasing and storing these material in Petite Martinique. As of last night, we had a shipment of sand, red sand, and so to Petite Martinique. And we continue to do that.
Local contractors and tradesmen interested in these opportunities are encouraged to contact the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs to begin the registration process at Build Back Better at cpma.gov.gd or call 443-6026. Stakeholders recently engaged in the final in a series of consultations on the working draft policy on the statutoization of hospitals and secondary healthcare services in Grenada. The one-day session saw representation from health practitioners, trade unions, non-governmental organizations, and statutory bodies. During the opening, Health Minister Honorable Philip Telesford encouraged Grenadians to embrace statutoization because it positions the nation to have a more independent, efficient health management system.
Our focus is to ensure that we create hospitals that are patient-centered, efficiently managed, and financially accountable to the population. To ensure that resources, human, financial, and technological, are used wisely and transparently. Our objective is to build resilience in our health systems so that Grenada can meet present and future challenges with confidence.
Chair of the Hospital Statutoization Transition Team, Lucia Livingston-Andel.
The government has demonstrated its commitment to addressing the barriers and impediments to providing such care by taking some very bold and transformative initiatives in the healthcare sector. One of these initiatives is the statutoization of the public hospitals. So what we are doing is just one of the many initiatives that have been taken to improve and to correct and to provide for what needs to be done and to correct any impediments or barriers that exist to providing the level of excellence in healthcare that is desirable.
According to Minister for Mental Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Honorable Delma Thomas, the consultation represents a critical step in strengthening governance, improving efficiency, and enhancing the overall quality of health delivered to patients.
As we modernize the hospital framework, we must ensure that mental health services are fully integrated, adequately resourced, and supported by trained professionals who can meet the growing needs within our community. This consultation is therefore timely and necessary, and encourage all stakeholders to engage constructively so that the final framework reflects transparency, sustainability, and people-centered care.
The national policy on the statutoization of hospitals sets the legal framework that will govern the way healthcare is delivered at hospitals and community clinics throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Minister for Health, Honorable Philip Telesford, says all things are on schedule in relation to Project Polaris, a major initiative by the government to build an 84-acre state-of-the-art, climate-smart medical city and hospital at Hopevale. The facility aims to create a 250-bed teaching hospital, enhance local health care, research and medical tourism. The health project is also focused on the building capacity of all health professionals. This is a partnership with the Mount Sinai Health System.
Key to this is the development of standard operating procedures that are being implemented, working along with our friendly organizations and so on, and our senior staff at the hospital and at the ministry, helping us to reorganize the way we lead and to recognize the importance of meeting regularly, cross-departmental communication, re-examining our service delivery methodologies. I think these are the things that is really transformative. The quality improvement, or focus on quality, or focus on customer service. How do we treat with our people? I think these are the transformative things that is happening. And of course, we are looking very seriously at transformative leadership style. So these have really helped us in the process.
He says patients at the General Hospital have already been experiencing an improvement in the service.
Firstly, the way we approach service, the way we treat with people. And some people have already begun to report to us that they feel a sense of better service when they go to the casualty unit, when they interface with doctors and nurses, because we pay close attention to what we say and how we treat with people. Confidentiality medical records and these things. The waiting times at the emergency unit and the system that has been implemented. I think all of these things have really helped to improve service delivery. And so it has been reported that the waiting times, people actually feel the difference in waiting times at the hospital.
Minister Telesford noted that a recently completed comprehensive need assessment at the General Hospital identified shortfalls that need to be prioritized in 2026.
The staff gaps and some equipment needs and refurbishment needs are being addressed. Biomedical is one of the areas that jumps out at us. Also, our legislation, that's another gap that has been identified and is going to be worked on as a matter of priority to update our legislation, because we cannot do all of this without updating the body of legislation. And the Ministry of Health has quite a number of pieces of legislations that come into play to treat with health service. Information and communication technology or digitalization is another gap that has to be addressed. So it's quite a number of them. The supply chain gap. And so it's quite a number of different gaps that has to be treated with. And all of them are being addressed 2026 and beyond. They are being considered and addressed as we speak.
Minister Telesford was a guest on DM with the PM this week. Continuing the news, the National Disaster Management Agency's operational capacity has been enhanced with the donation of a Freightliner box truck from the United States government. The donation, valued at $75,000, gives NADMA the boost to provide critical storage and transportation for emergency supplies and equipment. U.S. Principal Officer Cindy Dorff explained that the truck represents collaboration between the U.S. and Grenada in building resilience and strengthening disaster preparedness.
It represents the collaboration between the United States and Grenada in building resilience and strengthening disaster preparedness. The Caribbean region faces increasing challenges from natural disasters, hurricanes, floods, and other emergencies that test our collective capacity to respond and recover. NADMA stands on the front lines of these challenges, working tirelessly to protect the lives and communities across Grenada. This truck will enhance NADMA's operational capabilities, providing critical storage and transportation capacity for emergency supplies and equipment. Whether responding to a hurricane, coordinating relief efforts, or pre-positioning resources, this vehicle will serve as a vital tool in NADMA's mission. I want to acknowledge that this donation was originally intended for Petite Martinique following the fire damage to the Emergency Operations Center last year. While the road conditions there required us to adjust our plans, NADMA Grenada will ensure this resource benefits disaster management efforts across Grenada's islands.
The keys were handed over to Disaster Coordinator Dr. Terence Walters. He gave the assurance that the donation is timely and will improve Grenada's relief and response efforts.
Transportation is critical when there is an emergency. Transportation of personnel or transportation of equipment, transportation of relief. While we have the flatbed trucks, we do need this box truck so that we can load the truck and everything is secured in that box at the back of the truck, and we can go across the island. So it is a critical piece of equipment that can be used for our response and relief. When we have distribution of relief, that piece of equipment, the box truck, will be critical in our operations. So the National Disaster Management Agency is quite happy for this donation, and we do want to ensure that the U.S. understands, and we underscore that we will use this equipment for the benefit of the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique.
The United States remains committed to supporting Grenada's disaster preparedness. Recently, the local embassy donated a containerized medical clinic unit in Carriacou, among other relief supplies, following the immediate passage of Hurricane Beryl in 2024. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Disaster Management, Carlin McQuilkin, thanked the U.S. government for its continued support and partnership.
We are extremely happy and elated that we are receiving this donation today. We would have made a request, as you would have said, Ms. Jove, earlier. It was supposed to be for Peter Martinic, maybe to be used in carriacou as well. But as I said, the Lord makes no mistakes. So probably it is better that it is in Grenada. And so we thank you for that. And what we express gratitude for is that whenever we go to the U.S. Embassy, they never turn us down. So whatever we ask for, they try their utmost and they would ensure that it is given to us here in Grenada. And we want to thank you for that. I recall last year, we would have received a number of supplies to aid with disaster response, with disaster preparedness, relief and response. So we are very happy that the U.S. Embassy has partnered with us once again this year, and they are donating that box truck to us. As Dr. Walters would have said, it's very timely, and it is a very essential tool.
We'll take a short break and return with more news.
Do you own a home or business? Are you planning to build soon? Are you concerned about the availability of water? The GIS project, in collaboration with the Planning and Development Authority (PDA), invites you to a public consultation on the new rainwater harvesting regulations. Join us on Tuesday, 3rd March at the Hillsborough Secondary School and Wednesday, 4th March at the Harveyvale Government School in Carriacou. Both consultations start at 5 p.m. Come build your knowledge on water storage and quality requirements. Discuss how they will impact you socially and financially. Your insights matter. Let us collaborate to secure a sustainable water future for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Be a voice for water conservation. See you on Tuesday, 3rd March at the Hillsborough Secondary School and on Wednesday, 4th March at the Harveyvale Government School. Starting time, 5 p.m. Rainwater, the key to a sustainable future.
Welcome back. President of the North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletic Association, NACAC, Mike Sands, on conclusion of a technical visit with the local organizing committee for Carifta 2026, says he is very pleased with the progress made by the local organizing committee in putting the necessary systems and structures in place for the hosting of the games April 4th to 6th at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Mr. Sands made the statements while being a guest on the GIS Carifta chat program on Thursday.
Very, very pleased, not surprisingly so, of the progress that has been made because they're well in advance at this stage. We have 37, less than 40 days to go, but we are comfortable that like Brandon said during his visit there, if the games would be held next week and week after, that Grenada would be ready to welcome the member federations to the event. So we're very, very pleased. And we toured and we visited all areas, from competitions to hotel visitations. We visit and had reports from every single subcommittee that would be responsible for executing the games in their respective areas.
He says that while NACAC and the federations within the smaller islands would like to see an increase in their numbers in terms of participation, transportation, and accommodation, costs are a couple of the challenging factors hindering that progress.
Transportation is a very, very critical component that ought to be addressed even more holistically. And I've been attempting, and I will continue to attempt to try to get sports in general to become a CARICOM topic so that those airlines that are, and we can name them, that have full subsidy or partial subsidy by their governments become a little bit more cooperative, particularly in scheduling of equipment to the destination that is having a particular event, be it track and field or cricket or whatever. So that's how I see the whole thing.
With over 50 years of relatively clean Carifta Games, Sands says NACAC will maintain its strict anti-doping protocols in 2026 to ensure fair play despite the high cost of testing.
NACAC has a doping control directive, if you will. I mean, Dr. Adrian Lauder of Barbados, who is responsible for anti-doping for NACAC. And he will be present, right, to oversee that the doping controls are fully in place. There will be a number of doping tests that will take place, again, at random. So I don't like to even get into that topic because it's very sensitive, but I can say to you that a number of doping tests will take place under Dr. Lord's auspices and in strict accordance with World Athletics.
The long-term vision for the Carifta Games, he says, is to ensure it remains the premier junior track and field event in the world. The Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy continues to collaborate with stakeholders to strengthen Grenada's biodiversity. An early action support workshop for Grenada's national biodiversity financing was held earlier this week to create a roadmap for strategic planning and governance. Minister for Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy, Honorable Carifta Games, spoke of the importance of preserving the island's natural resources.
The process of defining national biodiversity targets and updating our strategic frameworks must not become another well-written document that is acknowledged, applauded, and then quietly placed on a shelf. Grenada cannot afford policy inertia. We cannot afford beautifully drafted commitments without measurable delivery. And we certainly cannot afford a gap between planning and implementation in a time of accelerating climate and ecological risk. What we are developing here is not merely a document. It is a national action framework, a governance instrument, a financing roadmap, and ultimately a tool for accountability.
The process is supported by the United Nations Development Programme and the Global Environment Facility through the Early Action Support Project. UNDP multi-country lead Janae Blackwood praised the dedication of all sectors involved in the assessment and validation processes.
As part of the national preparation process, a policy and institutional review for biodiversity financing was conducted to assess the current enabling environment, identify gaps, and pinpoint opportunities to scale financing for biodiversity action. This review looked carefully at institutional mandates, coordination mechanisms, policy coherence, existing funding flows, and barriers that limit resource mobilization. So today we will not only validate the revised national targets, but also review and discuss the findings and recommendations from that biodiversity assessment.
The main objective of the workshop was to review Grenada's revised national target in alignment with the coming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. Continuing the news, the Eastern Division of the Royal Grenada Police Force has named and recognized a Divisional Man and Woman of the Year as the creme de la creme of their operations.
This officer has demonstrated exceptional discipline, compassion, and unwavering commitment to duty. She has served the communities of the Eastern Division with integrity, treating every citizen with fairness and respect while maintaining the high standards expected of our organization. Her willingness to go beyond the call of duty, her strong work ethic, and her ability to work effectively with both colleagues and the public makes her a true example of what policing represents. This officer has not only carried out her responsibilities with excellence, but has also strengthened the trust between the police and the communities we serve. This award reflects her hard work and dedication and positive influence within the division.
This officer performs his duties with integrity, respect, and professionalism. His positive attitude and willingness to serve have not gone unnoticed. He has set an excellent example for others and has contributed greatly to strengthening the relationship between the police and communities within the Eastern Division. Today we proudly recognize this officer. This recognition reflects not only his efforts over the past year, but also a high standard that he continues to uphold within the Royal Grenada Police Force. He walks excellence. He speaks with excellence. He epitomizes excellence.
This distinguished award went to PC 461 Laurie Williams, whose wife and daughter received on his behalf, and Woman Police Corporal 593 Tonia Thomas. They were recognized among other officers and other staff of the Eastern Division of the Royal Grenada Police Force on Wednesday, February 23rd, for their exemplary service and commitment in maintaining order and fighting and preventing crime. The award ceremony was held at the Dulux Cinema in Grenville. Officer in charge of the Eastern Division is Superintendent Gillian Thomas. He says the awards is an opportunity to recognize the officers and the departments within the division that go beyond the call of duty and contribute to the core values of the Royal Grenada Police Force and the Eastern Division through their many attributes.
Today, we take a moment to recognize and sincerely thank supporting divisions and departments whose cooperation and commitment continue to strengthen the work of the Eastern Division. Your readiness to assist, your professionalism and teamwork have played a vital role in helping us serve our communities effectively.
Other awards of most outstanding officers in their respective departments are as follows. Immigration Officer, Ms. Trisha Andrew. Pretty Larceny Officer, Eastern District, Mr. Tyree Douglas. Fireman, Rural Constable Brent Berkeley. Process Server Police Constable 842, Kidon Peters. Petty Crime Officer of the Year, PC 612, Loxton Alexander. Community Relations Corporal Lennon Kellyst. Most Outstanding CID Officer went to Woman Detective Constable 314, Augustine. Traffic Officer 324, Yolanda Courtney. Senior Officers through the Mentorship and Strategic Directions who have excelled in mentoring and empowering teams for the well-being of the Eastern Division were also recognized. These officers are Superintendent Gill and Superintendent Bascom. Other recognition went to officers for their outstanding work at the station level, for their hard work and dedication, officers going on retirement, auxiliary staff, and community partnerships. That's a wrap for the local segment. Regional news coming up after the break.
A trip to Grenada from April 4th to the 6th, 2026. A decision you'll never regret. This isn't just any destination. It's where passion meets performance. Welcome to the 53rd Carifta Games, hosted at the iconic Kirani James Athletic Stadium in St. George's. Under the theme, Passion Drives Performance. The best of the Caribbean's junior athletes will compete in electrifying track and field competition. Organize now and be part of an experience like no other, where talent, passion, and perseverance come alive on the land of 100,000 jab. Feel the passion, celebrate the performance, and create memories that will last a lifetime in pure Grenada, the land of warmth, spirit, and unstoppable energy. Welcome to the 53rd Carifta Games.
Welcome back. The Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Barbados has welcomed members of the 8th China Medical Team who have been deployed to work alongside its clinical staff in strengthening specialist services and enhancing patient care. The team comprises 7 medical specialists, including cardiovascular surgeon, anesthesiologist, cardiologist, joint surgeon, nuclear medicine physician, ultrasound diagnostic physician, and acupuncturist. Their presence supports continued knowledge exchange, skills transfer, and the strengthening of specialized clinical services at the hospital. Director of Medical Services, Dr. Carlos Chase, met with the team captain and members of the delegation and conducted a tour of several key departments to familiarize them with hospital operations and clinical workflows. That's a look at news for today, Friday, February 27th. A recap of the top stories. Government scales up Build Back Better project on the Sister Isle and consultations on the statutoization of local hospitals. On behalf of the news and production team, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us.